140 for him. At 140 there's still more for him surely. At 140 I'm going to sell him though. At 140 the hammer comes up here. 160. At 160. At 160 now. At 160.
Sacred Falls has got a fight on his hands here. It's from the filly Oasis Rose. Warhorse is running third. Sacred Falls just in front. Oasis Rose is brave. Warhorse kicking the inside. Sacred Falls just in front. And it's the Super Six for Sacred Falls. Beat Oasis Rose and Warhorse.
Sacred Falls has unquestionably been the dominator of the 3-year-old season in New Zealand racing. He's a son of O'Reilly, so we thought it was absolutely fitting that we headed to Waikato Stud and catch up with their yearlings heading towards Karaka 2013. We spoke to Mark Chittick.
He's an incredible horse. But I suppose when you're looking at the last sort of 12 months or so, even from talking now, we talk about last season, but the last 12 months, you know, at one stage there he was the only stallion with 2 unbeaten horses in New Zealand, and then of course in Mosse and Sacred Falls, and then of course I suppose one of the highlights had to be Silent Achiever. You know, like she was a freakish mare, and she won them here, she won them in Australia, so that was probably it. But you know, each year seems to be a highlight with them.
Silent Achiever's race to Rangi Rangdu. Silent Achiever put her head in front of Rangi Rangdu. Solzhenitsyn flying home late, but Silent Achiever, the first mare ever to win it. She scored by 3/4 to Rangi Rangdu and Solzhenitsyn.
Sacred Falls just in front. Oasis Rose is brave. Warhorse kicking the inside. Sacred Falls just in front. And it's the Super Six for Sacred Falls. Beat Oasis Rose and Warhorse. 6 starts, 6 wins.
Durham Town's in front though. Mosse storming. Here he comes. Mosse, Durham Town, and out wide Demopon and Trapecio. Oh, what a win. Mosse, he is a beauty. What a win. Mosse. What a ride. Joe Waddell. He rode it cold by design.
At the end of the day, he is a proven stallion, and he does leave good types, and he leaves on average 10 stakes winners a year, so therefore he fits into the top echelon. And of course at this stage of his career he's 19 years old now, and he's left 18 stakes winners out of his broodmares, so therefore people do start targeting their fillies. He has a huge sort of following from the Asian fraternity. So I think he'll have a very good sale. You know, when you have a really nice filly by him, they sell very well. When you have a good strong colt by him, they sell very well. So I think it'll be interesting. But at the end of the day, if the O'Reillys don't sell well, then we're all in trouble.
Lot 46, the O'Reilly Breezy filly.
Well, I've taken a different move this year, actually, and I've put 2 fillies in, and there'll be another one that we'll talk about that we wouldn't usually sell on pedigree and type. She's an O'Reilly filly out of Breezy who was a Group 3 winner in Australia, and it's a fantastic family, the family of Starcraft, etc. Breezy's a Pins mare. It's a very strong family, and I would explain her as having the mix of O'Reilly and the Pins muscle and bone, etc. I mean, both of them leave. She's not the scopiest, stretchiest filly, but so she probably throws a bit more towards Pins. But I think she's a lovely filly with a lovely pedigree. And as I say, usually she'd be racing the Waikato Stud colours. But I've got a few fillies out of the mare, so I've just thought I'll take the opportunity this year to offer her for sale.
Lot 130, the O'Reilly Escada Colt.
It's a very, very hard job making stallions out of colts. So we've tried it in the past ourselves, but so I think we're better off offering this colt for sale, and at the end of the day going back to what we used to do and buying the proven colts off the track. Obviously he's bred in the purple. He's a half to 2 Group 1 winners, including other multiple stakes winners. He's just a very athletic, lovely, attractive, nice and correct colt with an amazing attitude.
Lot 231, an O'Reilly Ludor Mystic filly.
I mentioned earlier on that there's a couple of fillies that I'm taking the opportunity to sell this year, and she's the other one, or offer this year anyway. Most people are aware I've made a pretty significant investment in the industry over the last 12 months, so it might help sort of a few things out selling a filly like this, but at the end of the day she'll need to make her money, otherwise she won't be sold. And once again I go back to I've got multiple fillies out of the mare, out of Load or Mystic, so that's why I'm taking the opportunity this year to offer her. But she's a full sister to a Group 1 winner. She's got an unbelievable temperament, she's got a beautiful walk, and once again we just talked about the Escada colt. She's an O'Reilly filly out of a Centane mare, and she's pretty, actually they're very similar, the colt and the filly, so there you go, he's got the best of both worlds with the Centane and the O'Reilly.
Lot 328, the O'Reilly Saucy colt.
We've sold very well out of this mare. We sold a full brother very well, we sold a half brother by pins very well. The O'Reilly has performed up in Hong Kong. It's a nice family. Saucy is a full sister to Ugachaka, which most people are aware of, but he is a big strong brute of a horse, very muscular, likes to sort of do things his way. I wouldn't imagine he'll stay as a colt long, but at the end of the day I just think he'll be an awesome racehorse. He's a big strong boy. The mare's still reasonably young, she's left great types, and she hasn't left black type yet, but two of her performers are in Hong Kong, so obviously they're limited on the black type there. This is a horse that I think will really appeal to the Asian market. As I say, a big strong boy that will be better off 2 stone lighter pretty quickly, but then you'll have an awesome horse.
Lot 381, the O'Reilly Striptease colt.
He's probably one of my favourite horses throughout the draft on type, and that's why I've shown him today. I just think he will be just your real sort of Derby sort of type of horse. The mare ran over a bit of ground, she was stakes placed, and the family just keeps producing top class horses. It's a family of Barley Sugar, Viennetta, Golden Archer, and Achiever, and the list just goes on and on and on. So he's got a good attitude, the horse. He's very mature, he's very forward, and I think you could see him running as a middle to late 2-year-old, and then just going on as a 3 and 4-year-old, being a very sound horse. And they're a very tough breed. They cope with the racing, and he just fits into that mould.
There are some magnificent horses on offer in this year's Waikato Stud Draft, with 47 of O'Reilly's progeny catalogued across the premier sale. Now it's time to take a look at a stakes-winning filly called Dancer's Tale. She's been a wonderful representative for Adrian Clark's Challenge Racing Syndicate as she looks set to take her place in this year's Karaka Million. The daughter of Tale of the Cat was sold through Blandford Lodge's 2012 Select Draft for $65,000 and will be prepared by the training partnership of Murray Baker and Andrew Forsman.
She wasn't an overly big filly, but she was very athletic, lovely moving filly and a really classy type. Yeah, right from day one she's been a pro. Paul Batab broke her in, she came to us early on, and she never put a foot wrong. She's such a professional when she gets on the track.
It's Choice Schnitzel out by neck over Quintet and 3 wide Charlestown. A length away is Sparkling Mind, 4th on the inside of Dancer's Tale. Hard-ridden Precious Sophia around Demet, it's under the whip, the favourite, and then came about 4 or 5 lengths to that's where it is. Quintet and Choice Schnitzel laying all over the top of each other, getting out Sparkling Mind. Dancer's Tale blasting along the rail. Choice Schnitzel in front. Dancer's Tale comes at it and won the Welcome Stakes. Dancer's Tale beat Choice Schnitzel as green as the Riccarton grass.
Yeah, after she went down to the South Island and won the stakes race down there, we gave her a couple of weeks out, and she did really well, like too well. So we've been playing a bit of catch up ever since, but after Riccarton, the Karaka Million's been in mind. Do a bit of swimming and just mix it up with her, and just a couple of good gallops a week of the race. She's always going to be suited to a race like this.